Hey, yo. Check it.
Welcome back, Hir-O.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind will lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.
Hello.
I must have missed you say that we were starting.
Yeah, that's why the music was playing.
Oh, I thought you were just
just listening to some
smelling
tunes.
your own farts of the theme song that you produced.
Yeah.
Oh, episode 82. Oh, episode who was 80? The Lions had a receiver that was 82 once. Jermaine Crowell, remember him?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
He must have been trash.
He must have not been very good. Yeah, I think I don't know.
What about the Vikings? They have a number 82?
Kyle Rudolph, yes, longtime Vikings tight end. Episode Kyle Rudolph. We're gonna stick with that.
Boom.
Yeah, man. Episode 82. Hey, I am very excited tonight. We're recording this on Sunday tonight at 9 p.m. Guys, the thing I've been talking about for so long. I've been waiting on the Snake Eyes trailer forever, and it's dropping tonight. I am so excited, man. I'm so excited to see this movie. The poster they dropped with the Snake Eyes poster with Henry Golding on it was awesome as well. I'm excited for this movie, bro. I haven't been this excited for a movie probably since like Endgame. So
yeah, man, it's dope.
Ready.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to keep my expectations low, but I know that's going to be harder for you than for me.
Sure is.
What would you say your level of expectations are
10.
right now? 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like, when I see the cast and I know the choreography, right? They got to my knowledge, they have the same guy that did the choreography in the Kenshin films, which is absolutely amazing. Those are the best live action anime movies ever, not even close. And the fighting and the sword fighting is unbelievable in those movies. So I got high hopes, man. And like I said, like Andrew Koji playing Storm Shadow, like I'm very, 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 very high on him. Been watching Warriors, I'll talk about it later, but I think he's gonna steal the movie. So I'm really excited for it, man.
Let's go, man. Me too. I mean, they got the casting right. They nailed it.
Yeah, like, I think they got the casting right. I think they have, and even more important, and even, even also, right, like Andrew Koji is an awesome martial artist, but he's a great actor too. Yeah, Henry Golding did the work. He did the work. He put the work in, did all the training. Mm-hmm. I've seen some videos. Like, he's impressive. And he's a good actor too, so
really good actor.
So, and then Iko Uwais is in it. I got high hopes, man. Not gonna lie.
Me too. That's a day one watch on the release for me.
Facts. But anyway, what are you into currently, bro? Do you have another? You gotta tell your other story, please.
Oh yeah, I had another. So no, Dave. Dave was not involved in this story.
Hey man, shout out to everybody in the Discord,
bro.
Oh my goodness, you guys are the funniest. It's the funniest group of people that like ever.
Word is we might have some official Dave art coming at some point.
Oh my gosh. Yo, the picture that Josh drew was hilarious.
He's completed it and he's gonna send it to us.
Omega level Dave.
Man.
Man, we had a conversation in the Discord about Dave, and it was hilarious.
Man,
I had actual tears.
Yeah, it was a good 3 hours straight where people was just going ham, just nonstop Dave jokes.
It was pretty funny. And then you had us all scared to death because you had another encounter with him.
I did, man. I had a Dave encounter where I was going over to take some garbage bags out of the house, and Dave was waiting on me when I got back. right. The Metal Gear Solid. Shit. Damn, it's Dave. And I alerted everybody in the Discord. I was like, holy shit, Dave's here. Oh fuck. What do I do?
The memes were hilarious.
And everybody was like, oh no, you gotta run. So yeah, man, I did talk to Dave. I talked to him. I told him, and I had to use all of my work training and use nonviolent communication and empathy communication. Dave, I know you may be, because I didn't want to piss Dave off, bro. You don't want to fucking get on Omega level Dave's bad side, bro. So I had to make a offering to Dave, hey, I know you may be experiencing some disappointment, but I don't really have time to make this a priority right now, Dave.
Right.
And bro, even when I tried to confront him, hey, I got a guy coming on the weekend. He's gonna help with the front end and back, a professional landscaper. Gonna get it all taken care of because I know you care about your lawn, and I promise I'm not gonna embarrass you. I'm gonna make sure the lawn looks good. You don't have to worry about it. And even after that, he was still okay, but how about until he comes? Why don't we still work on that bush in the front? No bullshit. Why don't we just go ahead and knock that bush out in the front? And I was like, and at that point, I was just kind of all right, Dave, look, I appreciate you, but I just don't have time right now.
Oh my God.
So I had another basketball story, not counting Dave, but I'm still playing at Palmer Park because I kind of like the challenge of playing on the double rims. If you can master a double rim, you can shoot anywhere.
Right.
And I've been having problems with my back because playing on concrete as you get older, really is hard on your joints and your knees and your back, apparently.
Yeah, even growing up, I wasn't a fan of playing outside.
Yeah, me neither. It's just a much harder on your body game. Mm-hmm. But I like the challenge of it. It's hot. It's, you sweat, you get up, and it's punishing because it's this is a court that has no gate around it. So it's just an open field. And I got maybe a slightly overinflated ball on a double rim. So if you miss and it goes off long, that's that's a sprint to go get the ball, bro. That's like a full court sprint to go get the ball.
Right.
So it's the stakes are higher. I kind of like the challenge. So I've been playing out there. I've been stretching. Stretching is important to you old motherfuckers. If you're 30 plus, stretch every day, twice a day even. Yeah. And it's dramatically helped my back. My back feels much, much better. Anyways, so I was playing. I had my headbuds in or listening to a podcast or whatever, Libertard show, something like that. So I couldn't really hear what was going on, but I was shooting by myself on one end, just getting my drills up. And there was some bums on the other side of the court. And they were not good. I respect the game of basketball. I respect good players. These guys were not good players.
Right.
So I missed a couple of jump shots in a row. You guys know I kind of cuss like a white guy sometimes. God damn it, fuck off. I said some shit like that. And I heard out of one of the ear that didn't have the headphones in, I heard one of the guys on the other end of the court was he sounded like a lame. And they say, you know how niggas be. They said that shit loud to kind of not at me, but just to make sure I heard it. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. Didn't say a word. Went over, got my ball. I left this out of when I told you offline. So I took my ball and I just kind of looked at them, and they were playing a game of 21. So I kind of looked at them and I made it clear that I was, without saying anything, I was just kind of all right, I'm gonna step in. And I just started using my ball, and I just told them, I just get that, because they had one of them little bullshit balls. And I was just all right, without saying anything, I just made it clear that this is the ball that we're using. And I won their ongoing game of 21. I won in 7 shots because I kept making, I kept making the free throws, and they were playing 3 and out, and they wouldn't check me when so you play 3 and out, and they just let me shoot again. Yeah, just splashed it, and I literally scored 15 points in a row.
Oh my God.
And then I ended up winning. Never said a word the whole time. Once I won, I just grabbed my ball and went back to the side and continued my drills without speaking a single word the entire time. They needed to be punished, bro. And I wouldn't have thought I wouldn't have even made it a big deal if these niggas wasn't so trash.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Like, sure, I may cuss like a white guy, and I went to Cranbrook. That's a private school.
To be punished, bro.
But like, come on, bro. Like, I can hoop. God damn it. And I'm old and fat, and y'all niggas still can't beat me. Get the fuck out of here. So
I love it.
So that's what happened. Just a silent assassin just came in and destroyed them niggas, and then kind of slowly walked back to my end of the court and finished my drills. And then I left.
Awesome. Yeah, so I have a jiu-jitsu story, right? I was so when I did the tournament, was that a couple weeks ago, last week, something like that. I did the tournament. My master Wayne actually.
Sorry, my allergies. I'm gonna be sniffing up this until my allergies are just going crazy.
So my master Wayne actually introduced me to a guy. This dude's name is Parker. He's a black belt, bro. This dude is 70 years old, bro. 70, he's like 73 or something like that. 70 years old, dude, just a monster. Like competes in everything. Like he was in the tournament.
That's fire,
years old, bro. Black belt. So he introduced me to Parker, and then Wayne was like telling me about him and stuff, and then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna have Parker. He gonna come. He gonna start training with us on Friday. And I was like, oh, all right, you know. So Parker comes when we hooked up and trained on Friday. Parker was there. Dog, the guy, 70 years old. This dude is the strongest man I've ever like tried to go against ever. He's like a rock,
just unmovable, right? Immovable object,
literally, bro. Yeah. Crazy. So
old people got that like stubborn strength.
He's so strong.
My karate instructor was like that.
Crazy.
Just the
he's
fucking
like 70 years old.
I bet he's short too, isn't he?
He's not really short. He's not tall. He's like a middle-sized guy, but he's
just dense.
He's
really
like
solid.
A block. But the reason I was telling stories is because he said something really dope to me, man. And we were talking, and you know, he asked me like, cause he saw me at the tournament, and he was just like, we know what other martial arts you do, you know. I told him, and he was like, and then he was like, he asked me how old I was, and I told him. And, you know, and I was like, yeah, you know, I always wish I would have started this earlier, but then I still feel like it came into my life at the right time, so maybe not, you know. And then we were talking like jiu-jitsu is martial arts in general. Nothing is more humbling than martial arts, right? Nothing's more humbling than getting beat up because you're not good enough yet. You know what I'm saying?
You bitch.
Nothing's more humbling than getting beat up as you're learning because you're not good. And you know, and we were talking about that, and he was just kind of like, you know, he started training when he was 52.
Oh wow!
And he was saying the same thing, like, yeah, you know, like, I don't know if my ego would have been able to handle this when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
That's such a great point.
And then he was like, you know, I started when I was 52, so I was already like, you know, I don't have an ego. I'm old. You know what I mean? Like,
did he have any other background in martial arts?
Yeah, he's like a military guy. Like, okay. He boxed too, and he was then he was like, you know, there's nothing more humbling than martial arts. But he was like, yeah, he was like, I think we all learn at the right time. And he was like, when the student, this is a Lao Tzu quote too that I read in one of Lao Tzu's books, but he said, he was just like, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, and that's like, and I was like, yo, like, I've read that before, but like, it's super true. You know what I'm saying? You might think you're ready to like learn something and get into something, but you know, maybe not yet. So yeah. I thought that was dope, and I look forward to training with him again. So that was pretty dope.
There it is.
Yeah, man. What are you into currently, my friend? I know what you've been doing.
Fucking massive. Hey man, so Shenmue is my favorite single game of all time, and I love the Shenmue series. Shenmue 1, 2, and 3. Shenmue 3, I'm telling y'all, slept on. Amazing game. But in terms of a completed series, Mass Effect by far is my favorite series of all time, bro. That game has some of the best lore. It's like a really weird mix. It's not even weird. It's like a very clean mix of Star Trek and Star Wars put together. Because it's got some magical nonsense that happens, as well as some like military style, like tactical nigga phasers and lasers type shit as well that Star Trek does. in terms of action. And the story is just super dull. It's just a really, really good space opera. Like it's by far the best space opera video game ever. And I mean, I was gonna say not including any Star Wars games, but I think in terms of just game, like it's all three of the Mass Effect games are better than any single Star Wars game. I think I feel pretty good about saying that. Which is not, I mean, like, and that's not a slouch. That's not a slap in the face to the Star Wars games, because all three of these Mass Effect games were all nominated for Game of the Year. Like these are like absolutely AAA top tier games, right? In terms of the budget, all of that shit was top notch. And it's one of the few games that didn't disappoint you until the very end. They fucking fumbled.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you not like the third one? What's it, Andromeda?
The fourth one is Andromeda. Okay. Man, it's so I can't front. I was disappointed by it, but like even with that game, with this ridiculously nonsensical story, I said this on the podcast before, bro. That game has the best third person action. Like shooter power gameplay ever by a mile. It's not even close, bro. Like I don't know, like a Gears of War style cover shooter. Like nah, it's that Mass Effect Andromeda battle system is shitting on all of it. It's so good. But I've been playing the Legendary Edition, the remaster, and it's dope. I'm about halfway through. I'm not even about. I've been playing it for about 15 hours. I'm about a third of the way through the first game. But I'm already like overpowered as fuck because I'm noticing how differently I play games from when I was younger. Like I play games now with a totally different mindset where I'm like meticulously going through each level, trying to make sure I get everything, max everything out. And by the time I actually start the main story, I'm like already like 60% leveled up. So I'm just gonna walk. I got the sweetest guns already.
Yeah, that's how I play Pokemon all
right.
the time.
I'm just about to walk through the main campaign like it's no problem. Because I also like if I'm like the big bad hero of the series of the universe, I feel like that's how it should go.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
should be walking through.
Right. I should struggle at the boss.
Yeah.
But I should be like these little lower enemies, I should be dominating them niggas. And that's what I'm doing right now. So looking forward to it. How about you?
Fire. Man, you already know I've been watching this show, Warrior, a show originally written by the GOAT, Bruce Lee.
Yes, sir.
Look, man, I talked about this last week, probably the week before. I love this show, man. It's so good. Andrew Koji is somehow better than I already thought he was. Mm-hmm. He is amazing martial artist. He's an amazing actor. He is, and again, like I mentioned earlier, he's one of the main reasons why I'm so excited for this Snake Eyes movie, because he is playing Storm Shadow, and I have like really, really high expectations from him. He's so good in Warrior, man. Mm-hmm. And the show, man, it's awesome. I told you I get a little turned off sometimes by like the super constant racism in that show. You know what I mean? But once I get past that, it is very, very amazing. I'm on season 2 now. The fight at the end of season 1 between him and Joe Taslim's character on there, nuts. It was so good. And there's a lot of sweet characters, man. It's a really good show. I'm gonna try to finish it probably in the next couple of days. But yeah, man, if you guys have not watched Warrior on HBO Max, it's an amazing show. Like other than Into the Badlands, like, and these fights might even be better because they're more like hand-to-hand stuff. And Into the Badlands has incredible fights every episode. And these fights are like up to par, if not better than the fights in Into the Badlands. So there's not a lot of shows with like high quality action like that. So you guys definitely need to check this show out. Warrior, man, I love it. Andrew Koji is creeping in. He's creeping in that top 5, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm a big fan. He might be kicking somebody out.
Secretly British too.
Yeah, he's a British guy. I think his dad is Japanese and his mom was British.
I don't know, but yes.
Maybe. We can Google it. I know one of his parents is is British for sure.
Yeah. Mother is English. Yeah. Father Japanese, mother English. Yep, you're right.
I was right. Boom. Yeah, man. So Warrior, love it. What you got next on there? You're leading.
Oh, yeah.
Point. You're running point.
Little wrestling rundown.
Hey, little wrestling recap. WWE has a pay-per-view tonight. It's called, for some reason, they're calling it WrestleMania Backlash. Why are they calling it that? And they've been like overly stressing that too on the.
That just made me roll my eyes
at WrestleMania Backlash because they're trying to sell the
right because
WrestleMania residue.
Who cares? Bro, the best thing that WWE is doing right now is its contributions to Dark Side of the Ring. Like, it's not even wrestling, actually.
Playoffs on the line, and Steph is not playing. 38 points, 7 for 19 on threes. Yeah, he's not for any games today. Dog, Jordan Poole, bro.
Still playing well.
My young guy. I love that dude. Yeah, he's balling, man, as expected. But anyway, a little wrestling recap. I mean, you know, AEW has Double or Nothing coming up. Mega Ran wants me to go. It's in Jacksonville. I want to go. I really want to go because I feel like we might be able to like somehow finagle Clash of the Titans getting played on there somehow. You know what I mean?
A lot of COVID down there, dog.
That's why I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Also money. Also that.
Oh, the financial doll hairs. Yeah.
That too. But yeah, man.
Somebody trying to fly the boys out.
Yeah,
maybe
doing that, maybe. But yeah, bro. Double or Nothing coming up. It looks like it's
when is
gonna
it?
be dope. I believe it's on the 30th. I think it's in like a couple weeks. The card is shaping up to be fire. I mean, if you guys been watching Dynamite, you know that we're gonna get the triple threat between Kenny, Pac, and Orange Cassidy. Got Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, which I think is going to be a good match. Britt Baker's actually she's been pretty good lately.
Yeah.
She's also hilarious.
I kind of like her, man.
Yeah.
I think she's dope. She's a good personality.
Yeah. And then I don't know what they're doing with the I mean, Cody's got a match. I don't care. But bro, did you see that weird promo he did last week?
Yeah, I saw.
It's kind of weird and cringy. I like turned it.
I don't think I saw y'all talking about it. I don't know if I thought it was that bad, but I just
feel like he has this thing where he comes out all the time and basically is everything's about me.
You know what, bro?
Me.
Okay, hold on, dog.
Me.
Hold on. I see everybody saying that, and I don't know if I agree. I don't know, bro. I think maybe at the beginning, but he hasn't really done that as much as people say.
I guess the reason I'm saying that is because I just think that he gets in feuds that nobody cares about, and then they're like overly produced, like they're overly.
Well, wait a minute. Is it his fault that his promos are too good for the feud? Is that what you're saying?
I mean the feuds themselves. I think they get I just think they go so deep into these bottom of the card feuds.
Sure. He do be fighting against nobody usually.
And then they be like super drawn out and dramatic and like family getting involved and bleeding and crazy stipulation matches. And that's what I mean by I think that he gets in these like meaningless, like overly produced feuds. Like almost like everything he does has to be the best on the show, even if it's not. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. That's what I mean. I still think that he gets
his promos too good for the feuds he's in.
Right.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that was definitely true in like the first months of AEW.
Bro,
no doubt,
dog. The QT Marshall thing, nobody cares. And
I mean,
made that into.
I think what he was trying to do, he was trying to, but like. I don't know. I actually, bro, I'm gonna put my foot down. I'm gonna put my foot down and say that I flat out agree with that. And the reason why is because fuck Cody. He was trying to get QT Marshall over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I do think that a lot of it is that. I think a lot of it is him really just trying to pour the resources into the guy that he's feuding with.
Right.
So I feel you on that. But nevertheless, like chill, bro, on the crying every time you.
Yeah, that feels cringy sometimes when he does that.
He does it all the time. He's a crier. But yeah, I think Noveliss is gonna be dope. It looks like they're gonna do Moxie and Eddie Kingston versus Young Bucks. And then last week, our guy, man, Darby Allin finally lost the TNT title to Miro.
Yep.
Who, I mean, hey man, he had a sweet run.
He really did.
And Miro is like clearly the most threatening guy
on the roster,
on the whole roster.
Right.
So I mean, nothing.
He could because if my thing was if Miro didn't win this belt, like what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Like, what are you doing with him?
100%. So
they had to pull the trigger. And he's probably gonna have a nice long run, and maybe we get Jungle Boy to take him out, something like that.
That would be fire. But yeah, I like it. I think Miro's going to be awesome as the TNT champ.
Yo, how about this for? Oh, I don't know if you're gonna like this, but I actually think this could. I don't know. I think if they do it well, it could work.
Okay.
So I was listening to a podcast and somebody gave a prediction on where they think AEW is gonna go for the next year, and the prediction is because right now we got a bunch of heel champions. I think all the champions are heel except for the women, and I think they think that Britt Baker's probably going to beat Hikaru Shida.
She is too.
So we're going to have basically all heel champions.
I don't see Kenny losing the belt for a while.
I think if he does, it'll be much later. But here's what they're thinking. They're thinking that the perfect foil, if they start building him up, the perfect foil for Kenny is Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, I think we said that when he before he even won.
Mm-hmm.
We always said like the biggest end game for AEW is Hangman Page beating Kenny.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna happen. Maybe not this year, but like I think Kenny might hold on to it for this calendar year. But I think Hangman's gonna be one that beats him. But here's what I think is gonna happen. This is what the prediction was. What's gonna happen right after that is like literally the next week or the next like pay-per-view. On some fuck shit, Hangman loses to MJF for the big belt.
Jeez,
I think that they're predicting that could happen because how hard they're pushing MJF right now.
I can't stand it, and I know it, it means he's doing his job.
Right? No, he's a little dirtbag.
I'd be wanting to fight that dude every time I see him.
Little son of a bitch.
But yeah, no, I see that. That would be whack for Hangman to be like the transitional guy, but I mean, see, I think that being the transitional champ is super frowned upon, but at the same time, I think that there's no shame in being the one who dethrones like the unbeatable guy.
Sure.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Then you roll up.
And then maybe you can have
lose to the jerk the next time, but
sure. And you can that could actually set Hangman up for a feud with MJF. Yeah. That lasts for like the year, and then he ends up winning at Double or Nothing or something or whatever. What's their WrestleMania? Is it Double or Nothing?
I want to say,
or is it All In?
I don't think it's either. I think it's what is it? Revolution?
Is that the one?
I think so.
I heard they were trying to bring Starrcade back. That would be fire.
That would be awesome
if they
just
did
that. Yeah, that would be sweet. So yeah, man, wrestling recap. And then, man, New Japan was supposed to do a really big Tokyo Dome show, bro, and I think they canceled it because they got some COVID cases in the company.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I bet it was some filthy American.
So unfortunately, yeah, that's happening. But yeah,
that's how countries are looking at us now. We're the gross third world country that nobody wants to invite in their country.
You stupid Americans.
Because you guys won't wear your freaking masks.
Bruh. And then they say that you don't have to wear one if you got vaccinated.
Man, what a fumble by the CDC.
I was at Mount Meyer today and there was a dude in there with no mask on. I'm like,
nope, not gonna wear it.
I bet he couldn't wait to do that. Nope. That's right. That's right, America. It's off now.
Not gonna wear a mask. You guys are just sheep, bro.
You guys are scared. You guys are watching the news.
Bro, you gotta nail the Michigan white guy accent, bro. You guys are just watching the news. I'm gonna drive my car.
You guys are scared.
What's going on? Let's go.
Cheeseburgers.
Michigan white guys, man. I love y'all, but y'all be sounding funny sometimes. And sometimes, man, the black Michigan folks that are a little older, they do it too.
Yeah. You get to go to Chicago. With the R in Chicago.
And man, the one that I can't stand is the word ON instead of on. on. Turn on the car. And that's black and white folks in Michigan be doing that. I can't stand it, man.
On. It's on. It's on now.
And the nasal A's, pants, ant. God, we got the worst accent ever, bro. Fucking can't stand Michigan accents, bro. And I'm from Michigan and I love Michigan, but I hate our accent so much. Even when I said the word accent. Ah!
You did it.
Fuck.
What's next?
I don't know, bro.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so what else we got here? We got some how do you feel?
What's going on?
What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on.
I'll tell you what's going on, all right.
They changed the ethnicity of
so
Storm Shadow.
Yeah, so about that, right?
Let's talk about it.
Because there's a Facebook group that we both hate. And there was a guy who was mad that Snake Eyes isn't white. And then we had this conversation a long time ago about Iron Fist, right? Like we kind of felt like, does he have to not be white? No, but was it a good opportunity for them to kind of course correct a character who probably shouldn't have been white in the first place?
I actually think that yes, he shouldn't have been white.
Right.
Like you asked the question, could he have not been white? I actually think no, he couldn't be white.
Right.
Not anymore. Now that y'all niggas done learned allegedly. Then no, he should not have been white ever. And neither should motherfucking Storm Shadow.
Right. Snake Eyes.
Sorry, Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Storm Shadow's the white guy. Or the Japanese
Yeah,
guy.
he's already Japanese. But so basically, when I was talking to this guy, right, in that group, which was my first mistake being on the internet. But he's trying to make this argument that him being white is essential to his character, which I'll assure you right now, I'll save you the guys time from reading a bunch of comic books. It's not. But here we go with this story, right, of this guy who was in Vietnam fighting with Storm Shadow, whose name was Thomas, by the way. I think they changed his name in the movie to something sounds more Japanese. But anyway, so he's fighting in Vietnam. They become friends, and basically, like after the war, I forget. I think some Snake Eyes, his family dies in like a crash or something, and then he ends up like kind of seeking out, his friend, whose family is the Arashikage family, who are like a family of ninja assassins, right? And he goes to him for refuge and starts to train and becomes really good friends with him and all that, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, the white guy who's doing it surpasses the one who's born into the family. And, not gonna be able to do all that. And what the guy was trying to tell me is that, it's essential because the reason that Storm Shadow is mad is because here's this American white guy who's. I'm like, no, that has nothing to do with it. He's just mad because he started after him. You know what I'm saying? And progressed faster. It has nothing to do with his ethnicity, bro, at all. So, yes, I don't think that I don't think it matters. I remember being a kid and seeing Snake Eyes take his mask off for the first time and him being a white dude, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So it's not really. I don't think it matters. Like, I don't think you can sit here and be mad that he's not white. I think that's stupid.
And also
racist. Yeah.
And if you're gonna do like, hey, the foreigner, the outsider learns this other art. There are ways to do that respectfully, but the thing that Hollywood always does is they make the foreigner be the one who learns the stuff and then like also humiliates
the other one and also becomes the hero,
becomes the chosen one, and the best version. Like, no, that shit is symbolically really problematic,
bro. And that's actually what happens, right? Like, so no, let's correct that. You know what I mean? Let's kind of correct that now. Because I told you before, Storm Shadow's the better character. He's the one that has the better story And now I think that we're going to get a reverse of that. I think Snake Eyes in the movie now is going to have more of the concrete backstory and just be the better character overall, which I think is cool. If you're a fan of Snake Eyes, like, you should be okay with that. You know what I mean?
Facts. You have the potential here to make it a better story.
Yeah, 100%.
Now that you've fixed what was always a problem. I mean, you could okay. So you could say, because I know this is like one of your favorite fictional characters ever, Snake Eyes. And you can acknowledge, like, hey, all the childhood memories that I have with him, how much I love the comics, how much I love the character, is all that stuff is still true, while also acknowledging, now that you've gotten older, when you were a kid, you couldn't be expected to think about it that way. But now that you've gotten older, look back on it and be like, man, it could have been so much cooler if that character was Asian, right?
100%. Oh, like, yeah.
Those two, having that realization does not ruin your childhood. It's just a separate.
Right. It's okay.
It's a separate like realization that, you know, can inform future decision making. So I think it's people take that shit out of context.
100%, man. Oh, I'm gonna say a word I don't like. Normalize. Seriously though, normalize. I hate that word.
Leave it for the professionals to say, because
yeah.
I need that word. It's very important to me. But you motherfuckers need to stop playing it out and use it correctly.
But just like, yes, make normal. Changing your opinion on stuff when you're presented with new like information and new points of view, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like people are so stuck in their
people would get dug in on the take.
Racist.
Yeah. And also, of course, like, obviously, I ain't gonna never like not acknowledge that. But just in general, like, niggas sometimes just be too dug in on their takes.
Yeah, man.
Like, new information, be presented with new information and welcome the idea of like, hey, you know what? I now have new data and I can make a different opinion.
Bro, 100%. Like, we had a very good example of that when we did our Star Wars tier list last week. Like, you know how much I love episode 1, but at the same time, I'm not about to sit up here and say it's like perfect. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you about like video game like series and sequels, because I know you're playing Mass Effect, right? And I know how much you love Mass Effect.
Yes.
When you play like a series of a game, whether it's Mass Effect or like a Zelda game, or like what are you looking for in the sequels? Like, is it like the story, or are you looking for the gameplay to kind of be the same? Because I remember you were saying you were playing the Yakuza games, and then they like changed it up in one of the later ones.
Yeah. They made okay. That's actually a great example. That's a really good example, because Yakuza gives you all of that. It's like 8 games, and it's a big universe. The story starts in like 1988. And goes all the way to like 2021. Right. So it's a really long
and is it like a cohesive story, or is it just
one
like,
big universe?
Yeah, because you know, like when you play, like obviously I'm a big Pokemon fan. The games aren't like direct sequels of each other. You know what I mean? Like except like I think Black and White and Black and White 2 are the only ones that are like direct sequels. The other ones are just kind of like, oh, we're on to a new region now. You know what I'm saying? And
with a different character.
Yeah, with like a different character. They're the same series of games, but the storyline isn't. It's not like
cohesive.
Yeah.
So I do look for that. Except for Zelda. But if you've created a niche where that is expected, like Zelda, and even with Zelda, they do have an overarching story, but written into that lore is that these characters get reincarnated every 10,000 years or whatever. Right. So Zelda, but other than that, a game like Mass Effect, Shenmue, Yakuza is a great example. I am looking for the continuation of the story, because I like to see the characters grow. Like, there's literally a character in Yakuza 1 who's a little girl in the first game, and by the Yakuza 6 she's like 19, right, with a baby. And it's like I watched her. I mean, it's a fictional character, obviously, but you watch her grow up, and you get attached to the characters, you get attached to the stories. See people pop in and out from other games. Mass Effect does a great job of that. The gameplay, I was thrown off at first with how drastically the gameplay changed from Yakuza 6 to Yakuza Like a Dragon. It happened to work though. They nailed it. Okay. That's the best non-Pokemon RPG, like classic turn-based RPG game that I've ever played.
Right.
It's legit like a blast to play. It's really fun. But that is an exception. Like, I think if you just like, all right, man, the first game is a shooter and the next game is going to be fucking Mass Effect football. Oh yeah.
Arena fighter.
Right. Like that's a little much for me. But I do look for for there to be improvements, right? So a great example is Mass Effect. They went from Mass Effect 1 had the biotic powers. Basically, the biotics are like the Mass Effect version of the Force, where you can use psychic powers. In Mass Effect 1, they were not that good. And I'm actually paying for it right now because I'm playing as an adept, which is a person who specializes in biotics. And I'm like, bro, this shit way harder than I remember. Because it doesn't, like, they didn't, what happened?
8th seed on the line.
One
scoring title on the line. Steph Curry, NBA leading scorer this season.
Bang.
Warriors win. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Warriors' second favorite team. My second favorite team. Obviously, your first. So yeah, in Mass Effect, man, the biotics weren't that great in Mass Effect 1 because they were just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna push a guy and he's gonna fall over.
Right.
Doesn't really do a lot of damage, so I still gotta shoot him a bunch while he's on the ground. Mass Effect 2 and 3, however, they introduced this mechanic called the biotic explosions. And you would also see in cutscenes people using their biotics and they're like fucking blowing up spaceships and doing all kind of cool shit. I'm like, yo, I can't do that in a game. Mass Effect 2 and 3, they fucking beefed it all the way up so that you can do biotic combinations where you can like lift with one power and then slam with the other one.
Oh, that's fine.
So it like ragdolling people on some like fucking Darth Vader type shit.
Who makes Mass Effect?
BioWare.
Okay.
Before they got trash.
Okay.
BioWare has been suffering lately, but they, at the time that Mass Effect was popping, they were at the top of the chain.
Were you a fan of the Infamous games?
Yes. Infamous is not, they're
That's Insomniac.
Insomniac,
right?
yeah. I did play them. They got a sweet power system too.
Yeah, I was what you were describing kind of was reminding me a little bit of the
kind of, but it wasn't like that in the first one though. The second and third ones, it was like, if you're a fucking biotic adept, I'm just literally force waving people off the board and like making biotic explosions and clearing out entire hallways. It makes you feel like a real badass. So that improvement from Mass Effect 1 to 2 was really, man. That's one of the best sequels. Mass Effect 3 was still good, but Mass Effect 2, from 1 to 2,
huge difference.
It went from being a 10 out of 10 game to like a 12 out of 10 game. Like It got better and it was already fantastic. And that's really rare. You don't really do that very often. And it's evidenced by the fact that Mass Effect 3 was like, okay, if Mass Effect 1 is here, Mass Effect 2 is here, Mass Effect 3 is like, just a little fuck you, kind of just a little bit fuck you at the end a little bit. So at the end of the day, I just want the games to get better is all.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I am kind of the same way. I just want, you like games for the reasons you like them, right? And you don't really want those things to change, I guess, when you play the sequel. Like, obviously I love Pokemon, right? The thing that gets you playing the next one that comes out is because it's just like, it's what you like. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be just like the other one, but just like couple new features here and there. Like I like when I'm playing Pokemon games, I just like when they add little things that make a big difference, like your Pokemon being able to follow you around, or new moves, or new animations,
or new types,
or new types. You know,
changes the whole game.
Like things like that. Like when they add, not necessarily stuff that affects it's not the gameplay though, right? You know, it's just things that affect like the metagame and things like that. I like stuff like that. When I play a game like another game series that I love, that it's freaking hard, but the Mega Man Zero games, right?
Yeah.
Like, I play those. Obviously, I love Zero as a character, but the story is really good. So there's some games that I like the story in, right? And then also the upgrades, you know what I mean? Like the new weapons and stuff like that. I'm always looking for stuff like that too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how it would feel if like this Pokemon Arceus game that's coming out. I'm like obviously gonna play it and I'm excited for it, but I don't know how I feel about it's gonna be different. You know what I mean? It's like an open world. Like I think it's more so focused on like just kind of catching a lot of stuff than it is like battling and stuff like that. So
I think they have a battle system.
I think there's a battle system. Just it's not. It's not going to be like the.
It's
whole,
not turn based.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So,
to be honest, though, I'm willing to give them a chance because we've been asking for that for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like what would it look like to have a Pokemon open world live action or like action RPG where you can put your Pokemon out and you can motherfucking run around and do moves.
Yeah. And
if they pull that shit off,
have like little scraps.
If they pull that shit off and it's cold,
yeah, that would be fire.
That would be a revolutionary thing, bro.
Yeah, it would be.
Because look, man, Final Fantasy's 15 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake have made, in my opinion, Japanese RPGs with human beings and not Pokemon. Y'all need to only do that.
Right.
Don't do no more unless you're Yakuza. Yakuza pulled it off. But I don't want to see no more wait while I fucking here. I'm going to take a potion and fucking wait till a nigga stab me in the face and then I'm going to stab it back. Like, nah, scrap. Go fight. Go fight. You can still do your moves. You can still choose your spells. But you can also, nigga, run around and goddamn it while I'm fucking moving and shit. So they pull it off, it could be cool.
Right. I think, I'm excited.
But it is scary. I get you that it's kind of nerve wracking. But let me tell a really quick Mass Effect 2 tidbit real quick. You ever played a game and been sort of disappointed by it gets to a point, it's like, all right, shit about to pop off, but then the final board is kind of like, final level is kind of like, oh.
Yeah. Or like, you ever played a game where it was the beginning was really dope, but then it never really goes up from there. You know what I'm saying?
That did not happen in Mass Effect 2. Bro, in my opinion, Mass Effect 2 has the best final level of all time.
Yeah, you said that before.
Bro, to this day, like I played it recently on PC, maybe about 2 years ago. As a grown adult, I was like hooping and hollering in my seat, like, let's fucking go. And I was so hyped because the mission, dog, you need your whole squad. And if you fuck up, niggas will die for real. You got to make the right decision. It's so hype. Love that shit. Can't wait to play it. Mass Effect nerd.
But yeah, bro, in other news, more oldness.
GameCube.
20 years old. Hey, straight up though, GameCube's one of my favorite systems, man. I remember when GameCube came out, it was funny because it kind of went from being a system that my brother wanted, and I kind of tagged along and like stole it, kinda. You know what I mean? Because I was never. I remember when it came out. I think I was an Xbox guy, the first Xbox, the big giant, 50 million pound Xbox with the huge controllers. And shout out to Ben Wallace, bro, for getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I've been arguing with people all day about him being not a superstar.
Oh God,
bro!
This team don't have any superstars on it.
Four-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Star,
NBA
champion, like 5 or 6-time rebounding champion, highest defensive shares in the league. Nigga was on the fucking cover of ESPN 2K5. This man was a main event superstar attraction, selling a bunch of jerseys, afros in the clan,
afros,
bobbleheads, primetime ESPN games,
bro.
Ben Wallace was flatly a
superstar.
If you want to argue was he a super, who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. In my opinion, he was. But even if you want to say that, he was clearly a star. So is Chauncey Billups, bro. I had this conversation. And I know Tony Parker's your guy, and I love Tony Parker too. Somebody told me that they would consider, like, they would say Tony Parker. Oh yeah, like they brought up the Spurs, right? Yeah. Tim Duncan, greatest of all time, one of the greatest players of all time, obviously a superstar. And they also mentioned Tony Parker as a superstar, and I'm like, okay, I'm not willing to give Tony Parker superstar status and not Chauncey Billups,
right?
You can't, because they have very similar trajectories.
They have similar careers.
Yeah, like you can't, I'm fine with giving them both superstar because I love them both. But I'm not about to do this thing where you
one and not Chauncey.
Yeah, man. Like, and another one is Gary Payton.
Bro, Chauncey was flat out one of the best point guards
for like 5 seasons.
And then he went to Denver and was the same thing.
Right. And they instantly got way better.
Right.
All right. That team, man. Anyways, you get my point.
Yeah, man. That team almost went to the finals. The Nuggets team.
Yep. Man. Chauncey was killing Kobe. I mean, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Bro, he was going crazy on Chris Paul. That was right. What was frustrating.
Hey, Chauncey low-key always had Chris Paul's number.
He did, bro.
Through his whole career, he always had his number.
Yeah, he did.
And then Steph came, and now Steph has Chris Paul's number.
Well, Steph got everybody's number.
That's true.
He
got a phone book.
He got everybody.
He got a fucking yellow pages. Let me call this nigga.
Let me dial.
Dial it in from downtown. No problem.
But yeah, man. GameCube, man, loved it, dog. One of my favorite systems. I loved how small the games were. I thought that was really cool.
That was really interesting.
I loved the controller, man. I think GameCube's got an underrated controller. I loved it. I love the controller. When I play Smash, like I prefer to have a GameCube style controller, and that's why they still make it. You know,
bro, I can't play Smash without that. Without it,
that controller's fire.
They call it a Smash controller now.
It literally has its own name.
Right.
Obviously, GameCube was fire to me. I think it had some really good games on it. Some slept on games, man. Like obviously Smash. Obviously, but like obviously, I used to love Beautiful Joe too.
Yeah.
But like, bro, the Pokemon Coliseum. And, But was it Gale of Darkness? That game was really dope too, man.
Yeah.
And then the Zelda game that was like the
Wind Waker.
You know how I feel about Wind Waker.
I ain't gonna play the flute.
I don't like Wind Waker, but
I never finished Wind Waker because I never owned a GameCube. Believe it or not.
Yeah, you said that before.
Yeah, that's the only Nintendo system that. You know what? I also never had a Super Nintendo either. Like one of the most popular ones I never had. But I never finished Wind Waker. I think it's one of the favorite because the story is like. They kind of introduced that whole like multiverse thing in Wind Waker a little bit. I don't know.
But like Twilight Princess though is really dope. I think that's one of the most underrated Zelda games that was on GameCube too. That's the one where it's like kind of the art is so like
serious. Is that the one he turns into a wolf?
Yeah, it's like real serious and kind of dark and I really like that one. I think that's one of the best like designs that Link has ever had. But yeah, GameCube, man. Shout out to GameCube. 20 years old. I think it's a super underrated system. I still have one. Smash, Mario Kart Double Dash was on there.
Oh, fuck that game. That's the most annoying one in my opinion. Jesus Christ.
There's some great.
Bro, you remember?
games.
Okay, hold on. Quick college story. I might have told you this offline, but you remember? So me and my basketball team, we used to play Smash. We also used to play Mario Kart. My nigga James, white dude from Chicago, cool as hell. The nigga, he used to play Mario Kart so much that he just called it Kart. You guys want to play some Kart? And there was this one. You remember that board where it's like a fish that like jump out of the water and knock you off your shit?
Yes.
So my homie Jordan and his boy, who actually didn't go, 'cause Jordan was from Oberlin. He was from the college. He was from the city, and he went to the college. He had a homie that used to fuck with us. He didn't go to the school. He was just one of his friends.
Yeah.
And he was playing with us. Josh. His name was Josh, and he just kept getting hit by this fish, bro, like every lap. And I remember looking over at him one time. That nigga was like, "What the fuck, fish?" And he said it with that sort of like Cartman annoyed little kid voice, like, "What the fuck, fish?" Nah, that shit had me dying, bro. And then every time we played that board, anytime somebody got hit with the fish, that's what you're supposed to say. What the fuck, fish? Shout out to Josh. That was my guy.
Oh, man.
You guys want to play some kart, nigga?
Yeah, play some kart. Yeah, man. GameCube. What other? Metroid Prime was on GameCube.
Yes, sir.
too, man.
Metroid Prime. I think the first two, or just maybe I don't know. But Metroid Prime was cold.
Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion.
Never got into Luigi's Mansion. But
I didn't either. I never really was big on Mario games either, outside of like Mario 64 and
Mario makes games where like you kind of begrudgingly play them, and then you be like, okay, I guess this shit is a masterpiece. And it's like you begrudgingly be like, okay, man, this actually, I guess this is one of the best games I've ever played. Man, they just find a way to make like fucking perfect games every time, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like the new Mario, like the ones where it's like the old style, but with 3D. I don't like those. But like the big box Mario games, like Mario Galaxy, Mario Sunshine, they've all been phenomenal. Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, Mario.
You just kind of be like, "Fuck, they hit another home run with this shit, bro." Like, damn.
Man, Mario is just like a little superhero.
It's
inexplicably athletic.
Eric said that he's Wolverine with no claws. It's a little cannonball.
He does be saying that.
Right.
He calls Wolverine Marvel Super Mario all the time.
Yep. It's a little cannonball. Is super athletic. And really good at every sport.
Super dense. Like
right. Heavy.
Jump super, probably weighs like 1,000 pounds.
Bro,
hits like a truck.
Here's a useless piece of X-Men trivia. I happen to know approximately the measurements of Wolverine when he has his adamantium. He's 5'3" and about 450 pounds. I remember reading that off the back of a card one day.
That's Super Mario for sure.
Yep.
Dang, he's only 5'3".
Short. He's really short.
Bro, that's
like my mom's height.
I was about to say that's how tall my mom is.
Yeah.
That's wild. But yeah, man, GameCube, shout out to GameCube, one of my favorite systems. Super underrated. Yo, my son is doing he's so cool, man. He's so, you know, I've been having to like teach him all year because of virtual whatever. So he has to do a research paper, which is ridiculous because he's a freaking 5th grader. But he has to do a research paper, and I texted you the other day when he because he wanted to do it on video games, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. I'm like, so all right, so let's find something cool to do it on, you know, because you got to make sure it's a topic that you can like research and have, you know, credible sources and all this nonsense, right?
Oh my God, fuck!
The Pistons winning.
No, they haven't started yet.
You're all scared that the Pistons are going to win tonight and screw up their lottery balls.
Jimmy Butler, Gorm Dragic, Andre Iguodala, Kendrick Nunn, Bam Adebayo, Trevor Ariza, all out.
Oh my goodness, bro! Y'all got to
fucking nightmare, bro.
Gotta smarten up, dog. They got to smarten up. Y'all cannot win this game. That sounds ridiculous.
Oh my God, bro! This is such a fucking nightmare, bro.
I told you, bro. I'm an honorary Pistons fan now. You done converted me. I care.
I'm telling you, bro. If they lose this game, if they win this game, they're gonna get in a 3-way tie for the second worst record. Which you would think it would be okay, but the problem
decreases their chances of getting.
They also what happens is worse than that. They have to do a separate lottery to determine the order of those 3 people that are tied. And you already know they're going to get fucked in the lottery. So they're going to end up being in like 5th if they win this shit, which goes from 80% chance of a top, like a 60% chance of a top 4 pick. Couldn't do no worse than 6th to potentially dropping as far as 9th in a 5-person draft.
No, bro. No. Can't do
it. Y'all, and then Corey Joseph might play, who is not necessarily a good player, but he be out there going crazy sometimes because he's still trying to prove himself. So he be scoring all it. Like, stop fucking scoring, bro. Go. Why you ain't do that when you was playing for a team that mattered? Fucking hell.
Oh man.
Tyler Hir-O and Duncan Robinson will both be playing, but Bam was the one we needed, man.
Yeah, you needed Bam out there.
Fuck.
Well, hey, maybe Duncan Robinson will be the greatest catch and shoot player ever. All right, everybody was saying.
Right, show me that Klay Thompson bullshit today.
Y'all was talking on Twitter. But yeah, man. So my son's doing this video game research report, and so I basically came up like he should do it on the console war of the 90s, right, between Sega and Nintendo, and that's what he's doing it on, and it's pretty dope, man. Like the way that everything played out, it was pretty nuts because like obviously, Nintendo, boom, came through, saved the gaming industry. Then Sega comes in the early 90s, and Sega was like all edgy, and it was brighter, the music was better, and the sound was better.
Sound was definitely better.
And do you remember the Sega Scream?
Sega! Yeah. yeah.
And like the commercials were like all grungy and edgy. And then like I remember they did Mortal Kombat came out, and like Sega one had blood on it, and the Nintendo one had like green stuff.
Yeah.
and then
Sweat. That's what it was.
And then Nintendo came out with Super Nintendo to kind of, because Nintendo was 8-bit, and then Sega was 16. And then Super Nintendo was supposedly 16, but it was really like 12. You know what I'm saying? And then they had their little thing going. Sega was actually smashing Nintendo for a long time.
Yep.
And then what happened was, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like when Sony was wanting to get into the gaming industry, Sega was supposed to partner with them, and I think that would have been like the best system ever. And Sega was supposed to.
I thought it was Nintendo that was trying to partner with
Sega.
Sony.
It was Sega, and then they dropped the ball, and it didn't happen. And then what happened was Sega tried to get the one up on Nintendo, because the last systems that came out were 16, so they thought the next one was going to be 24, right? So then Sega was like, Nintendo's about to drop a 24-bit system. Let's up them. Let's surpass them and drop a 32-bit system. So Sega started working on Sega Saturn. Then Nintendo does this press conference, and they're like, "Hey, dog, we about to drop a Nintendo 64."
Nine.
Sega's like, huh?
Ooh.
So you know what they did, bro?
What's up?
They tried to stick two 32-bit chips in Sega Saturn. And that, folks, is why Sega Saturn flopped.
Yep.
They tried to just be like, you know what? Let's just try to put two 32-bit joints in there and see what happens. I don't know if you guys ever had a Sega Saturn or if you remember. Now, don't get it wrong. Sega Saturn had some good games.
Yeah. Had some good fighting games.
But it was like a glitchy system, and I never knew that they did that, and that's why. And then once Nintendo did that, it was pretty much over.
They tried to come back with Dreamcast, but
which is my favorite system ever.
They tried to beat. They rushed to try to beat PlayStation to the market, and
just lost.
They didn't have the processor. They also didn't have the copyright protection.
Man.
PlayStation 2 came out and unfortunately destroyed them.
Yup. And dude, PlayStation just came in, and I think the first PlayStation is still the greatest selling game system.
I think it's PS2.
Is it PS2 or the first one?
We can look it up. But yeah, PlayStation came in and just wrecked shop.
And Sega could have been there with them. But.
And you know what, Nintendo, and that's the reason why Nintendo pivoted, because they saw the writing on the wall. Was like, oh, these Sony niggas is for real.
Yeah.
So we about to just make stuff. We just about to make like paraphernalia and fucking remotes and shit, and you can so your grandma can play this shit. and they found their market. They're doing all.
Yeah, man. Nintendo is Nintendo, man. And Nintendo got some big dog titles though.
Game system.
What is it?
PlayStation 2.
Oh, it is PS2. Boom.
PlayStation 1. PlayStation 4. Okay, so PlayStation 2 is number 1. Nintendo DS is number 2. Game Boy Color number 3.
Nintendo DS or 3DS?
DS.
Bro, when DS first dropped.
Yeah, it was. I remember that shit.
I was old, and I like wanted one.
Like a scramble for it. Yeah. Like you couldn't find them anywhere.
I wanted one so bad.
This is why Nintendo. Okay, so you got PlayStation. I
actually remember what Pokemon game was out when DS came out.
Diamond and Pearl.
Dog. That era. I told you about this. I was in high school, and I literally it was like around Christmas time, and I literally went to my mom and I was just like, "Mom,
I I'd like a Pokemon game.
I would like a Nintendo DS and a Pokemon game.
Yep.
PS2, man, the all time. That's pretty dope.
Yo, check this out, bro. Everybody thinks it's a Sony versus Microsoft deal. Like they're not even in the picture. So it's
what is the highest selling Microsoft system?
Xbox 360.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So PlayStation 2. You got PlayStation 2. That's one for Sony. You got Nintendo DS and Game Boy, so that's 2 for Nintendo.
Oh, I remember the Game Boy.
You got PS4, that's 2 for Sony. PS1, which is 3 for Sony. You got the Wii, which is 3 for Nintendo. Then you got PlayStation 3, which is 4 for Sony. And then you got Nintendo Switch, which is 4 for Nintendo. So like the top 8 is half and half, and Microsoft don't even get in there until 9.
What's after?
Then you got Game Boy Advance, PlayStation, PSP, Nintendo DS, Nintendo NES, Nintendo Entertainment. Bro, Nintendo, it's really Nintendo still. They still doing all the work.
Yeah, Nintendo still all them handheld joints.
Yep, cause they pivoted into handheld and family and Pokemon.
Yeah, bro.
And like little fun bright games with whatever. So your grandma and your auntie can play it. Microsoft just really is not even. And then again, Microsoft, they do this video game shit for fun,
right?
But it shows because they're not competing. They're not competing.
All right, man, let's go. It's time for one of our favorite parts of the show. You can only pick 3. Gonna keep it video game related for this and the tier list.
Oh, interesting.
It's going to be fun. Let's go, man. You can only pick 3. What are you looking at, dog?
Hey, got some controllers. It looks like
game controllers. What when you play when you're playing a game system, like when it comes to the controller, I feel like I'm such a fighting game maniac that like if I can't fluidly move in a fighting game, like I don't like the controller.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I'm thinking about fighting games here.
But also, I mean, you need to be able to play some long games without your hands and thumbs hurting. You know what I'm saying? Because one of my favorite systems, I hate the controller for it.
Yeah, you talking about Dreamcast?
No, I'm talking about Nintendo 64.
Yeah, they fuck your wrist up. Yeah. Okay, so here's what we got. We got GameCube. Obviously, we already talked about the Smash controller, classic. Yes. We got Nintendo 64, which I told y'all the story. I used to hold it with both hands on the wings.
I used to play like certain games on 64. I would literally hold it like this and like use the yellow arrows and the A and the B, like, and I would have to hold it like weird, you know?
Yeah, bro. I've seen some people put the controller down and use the joystick like the underside way, like this, and like. Because that's how like,
well, it's almost constructed like a fight stick, but it's like
it's just a fucked up fight stick.
Weird fight stick,
yeah,
where the stick is in a weird position.
Yeah. And then we got the Wiimote. Really, I mean, nobody ever seen anything like this before. This is a really, really, and it worked. It was actually really fun to play with the Wiimote. Not gonna be one of my keepers though. I liked the Wii. But I didn't like the games that I like. I liked Skyward or Twilight Princess, and I liked No More Heroes, but they were both better without using the Wiimote. Okay. Then we got the Xbox. This looks like the Xbox X controller, which is very similar to the one for Xbox, whatever. Xbox One, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know. Whatever. They're both pretty much the same.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to include an Xbox controller is because like I think this might be the best example of like the evolution of a game controller, because Xbox original controller was horrible.
Oh, it's one of the worst ever.
It was like one of the worst, and they like did a pretty good job of like scaling it down, and then like Xbox 360 was almost like too small.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then I
don't know if it was too. Here's the thing that I hated about Xbox controllers. To this day, I still do. I was playing Tekken 6 when it first came out. It came out on This is when I was playing Xbox. I had an Xbox 360 and not a PS3. I'm good at Tekken. And I put in Tekken 6 and was trash. And I'm like, wait a minute. I fucking know how to play this shit. Why am I weak? Why can't I fucking play this shit? It was a mystery for a long time until Tekken 7 came out on PlayStation 4. And I was instantly good again.
Right.
And the reason why was because of the motherfucking controller. The angle that it flares out is so different.
It's weird. And also, I don't know if it's because I had a similar experience with playing Tekken on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way that the directional pad has like that little. It's got like a
case around it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it makes it hard because Tekken's got a lot of like moves where you kind of have to hit it like just in the middle, like to go like diagonal movement.
Oh yeah,
and you can't really do that on that Xbox controller because it's got that little like protective cylinder around
and it's also in a weird. It's like down further.
Man.
Wow. Yeah, that sucks, man. Because I don't play fighting games with the joystick. I always use the directional arrow. So then we got Dreamcast. So this is not a slam dunk for me. I think I'm gonna have it a keeper, but the only reason why I think it's not a slam dunk is because it was the standard for fighting games until the PlayStation 4 came out.
Right.
Then it was like, oh, this feels a lot better. The only problem with the Xbox or with the game or the Dreamcast controller is that it was like too thick, like short this way.
Yeah.
It was very compact. Which doesn't always work for it worked for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They really work really well for that because I just need the 2 buttons. If I can turn my finger sideways and get the two button going, I'm good. But for like Soul Calibur, I was having a lot of trouble with that controller. But I'm gonna come back to that in a second. So Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo classics. They're not gonna make my list just because they're old, unfortunately. PlayStation 4, first keeper, easy. This is one of the greatest controllers of all time,
for sure. How do you feel about I didn't want to put multiple of one system on there, but like, how did you feel about the PS2 controller and the first PlayStation controller?
They were fine at the time, but they're too small.
Yeah, this is like
when you go back to it,
bro. The PS4 controller is like
perfect.
They perfected that because PS2 was just too small, and it was like. And when you if you go back to a PS2 controller
it's
after playing PS4,
weird.
It feels weird.
Now PS5 controller feels like the PS4 controller, but like luxury version. It's really dope. I like it a lot. Yo, dog, sneaky, fantastic controller.
Dog, I love it.
Placed the Nintendo Switch Pro controller.
I love it.
Sneaky. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it's got a nice
it's like heavy.
Yeah, it got some weight to it. You can fucking get some shit happening on the inside of that motherfucker. This is gonna be my second keeper, bro.
Hey.
Sneaky, fantastic controller, bro. Really, really good. One of my favorites ever.
Yeah, man.
So it's gonna come down to the GameCube controller and the Dreamcast controller. And I think because I only use the Dreamcast or the GameCube controller for Smash and it's perfect for it, I can't really use that controller for anything else. Whereas the Dreamcast controller was perfect for its time. Right. So that's gonna be my third keeper.
Boom.
So gonna go PS4, Switch Pro, and Dreamcast.
Like.
What about you?
All right, man, let's go. GameCube controller right off the top. This is my first keeper. Love it. The Smash controller, but the reason why this is gonna be my keeper, bro, is because GameCube snuck some good fighting games on their system, like Soul Calibur 2. But the most important one, in my opinion, other than Smash, bro, Capcom vs. SNK 2.
Yeah.
And I remember playing that with this GameCube controller, and it was fire. I love it. The little joystick, man. Everything is just in optimal position. Like everything is just perfect. I think it's a great size. I just love it, man. I can't play Smash without one. Like I love
that's
it.
impossible.
So that's
actually though, the Switch Pro
is dope.
You can pull it off a little bit.
I play Smash with the Switch Pro all the time because I don't even have the
Smash stick.
Yeah, I need to get one, but I don't have one because for a minute they were like impossible to find because everybody was getting them.
Yep.
So my first keeper is a GameCube controller, man. Then we got the Nintendo 64 controller. For a system that I love so much, like I could not stand this controller, man. It was so weird.
It was weird for sure.
It was like when you look at the joysticks on these other like GameCube's joystick was fire. It was like bouncy. It was tight. Dreamcast controller, the joystick on it was fire. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Like it was bouncy.
Like it was low to the ground, to the controller, sort of.
Yeah, it was like low and it was tight and it was like bouncy. And when you look at the obviously the PS4, but
yeah,
even these other systems, they have that like tight. I just always felt like Nintendo 64's joystick was so like weird, man. It was like I don't know, like it didn't have that flick to it. It was like
anybody who had a 64 ended up with a limp dick. the limp dick fucking leaning joystick.
Yeah, bro.
Everybody had to deal with that shit, man.
And I just couldn't stand it. So then we got what they call it, the nunchucks for the Wii. I did not play a lot of Wii. But I do think the concept was cool. I think it was a cool concept for controller. Again, we got the Xbox controller, which I talked about earlier. I just think it represents how to keep chipping away at the design and finally get it right at some point. But then we got the Dreamcast controller. Again, another one that I love. This is my favorite system of all time. And I mean, I don't know if the controller is as much as a slam dunk for me as my first keeper, but I still like it a lot. So
we also forgot about the VMU, which is the best part of the controller.
Yeah, you're right.
The playable memory card,
little digital memory card.
That was fucking cool.
That was awesome.
That was really dope.
That was sweet. But again, like you playing Marvel vs. Capcom, so many fighting games. Like this is a fighting game controller. So this is gonna be my second keeper, man. The Dreamcast controller. We got Sega, which is classic. I actually did not own a Super Nintendo either, bro. Like I played one a lot because my cousin Jason had one.
Yep.
And we went over his house a lot. And then when I got older, I got one. When I was in like college, but. I just think it's too light. I think the Super Nintendo controller is way too light.
I agree. It's especially if you go back and play with it now. Yeah, it feels like a piece of paper.
Yeah, it's too light. And then it's gonna come down to the PS4 and the Switch Pro controller. I love both of them. Like how you said, man, that the Switch Pro controller just has that weight to it. Yeah. It's so good. But my third keeper is going to be the PS4 controller, but super high honorable mention to the Switch Pro because I do love that controller too. So I'm going GameCube. So I'm going GameCube, Dreamcast, and PS4. Let's do this tier list.
Let's go.
This is going to be a good one. I do think that we're going to have to make a section for just like not familiar.
Oh, just it's some randos.
Dog.
Oh wow.
Let's go.
Some of these Ataris I'm not gonna be able to identify.
That's what I said. We just need to.
What the fuck? I don't know.
We don't.
Well, how old am I? 48.
So we are looking at gaming consoles tier list. There are some. We're not 50. So there are some that we are not familiar with. And the thing is, there's no name. So if we can't identify them from their look, we're not going to be able to do it. So you should make one with just not familiar.
Boom.
And again, man, when we do the tier list, number one rule, got to protect S tier, man. Got to protect S tier. Only the highest of the elites get to go in the S tier, man. We got to make sure we protect it.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's try to do this right quick.
Yeah, let's make
add row below.
Uh-oh.
New. Okay.
Nope. Not gonna be able to do it.
Right. I already bro, I don't understand why it asked me to. Okay, so here's what you got to do. You have to do it Then you got to close out and then go to the one that you just made. That shit is so stupid, bro. This shit is not my fault, dog. This is bad design. Hate y'all. Don't ever fucking make tier list.
Cool sports.
Fucking cool sports, goddamn it, motherfucker.
Not familiar. All right, let's get it.
Okay,
we got the new
first
tier.
things first. We've got Sega Genesis.
Ooh, Sega Genesis classic. I mean, hey man, Sega.
Right.
Sega is my first system where like me and my brother like this was the first game system I had that we like played all the time.
Me too.
So
I think for me, I did have I had a Nintendo NES, but I had Mario 1 and 3, and I had that fucking hard ass Nintendo or Turtles game. And I had Muscles. Remember
shell
that?
shocked.
Oh my god! Actually, that was in the arcade one. That one was better. But I'm talking about the one where you had to go that fucking bomb swimming level.
Oh my goodness, bro! The underwater bombs.
God.
Yeah.
And I also had Muscles, that wrestling game. Remember that shit? I had that shit.
Man.
All right. So I think for me, I wouldn't put this anything less than B tier.
Yeah, I would put in B tier. Classic.
I don't know. I think this is some sort of turbo graphics, maybe, or Atari.
Not familiar.
Whatever. So interesting here. Let's see.
Is that?
So this is the Super Famicom, but actually no, this is Super Famicom. Okay, so here's what it is. This is basically the Japanese version of Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And this is the Japanese version of Nintendo. So Famicom and Super Famicom, but they're the same thing.
Right.
So we'll just put them together.
Okay.
So Super Nintendo, I think they're the same thing. They're regional differences, I think.
Right. I mean, Super Nintendo, one of the most legendary systems. I played my first Mega Man game on Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I didn't own one, but I ended up getting one when I got older. I mean, there's some good games for Super Nintendo. It's a classic, man. Also, one of the most like satisfying game release techniques where you got to push the thing in the middle and it pops the.
Oh yeah.
I think that's really sweet.
Yeah.
I think Super Nintendo should be. I think it should be where Sega is. In my opinion.
You don't think it deserves A tier consideration just off the legend, or do you think just regular Nintendo is more legendary?
I think Super Nintendo's more legendary. So
in that case, I will put it in A tier.
Okay,
I will put
the Super Famicom in A tier too.
And then I will put Nintendo, since we're talking about it. I will put Nintendo in B tier.
Okay.
Yeah, along with the Famicom.
Boom.
Some nerd is going to tell me I'm wrong here, but I feel pretty good about this that they're the same.
Okay.
Or wait, is one of these the Sega Master System? Whatever. We're not gonna worry about it. So I don't know what this is. This is like Jaguar or something like that. Whatever. I don't know. Tic-tac-toe looking ass shit. I remember this. This is Panasonic. Their video game shit, but obviously I never played it. This is another whatever. I mean, come on, dog. What are we doing here? Okay, Sega Saturn. What do we got?
Hey man, Sega Saturn. I think Sega Saturn has like I think Sega Saturn has the same like appreciation that Dreamcast gets from like hardcore gaming fans. I did have my stepsister had a Sega Saturn and there were some dope games on it, some good fighting games. I remember Knights.
Yes, bro.
Knights was
one of the greatest soundtracks ever.
Such a sweet game.
Bro, I remember my homie Randall got a Dreamcast, or sorry, he got a Sega Saturn, and he played Knights, and I watched him play, and I remember being.
Did they make a Knights game for Dreamcast?
Yes, they did. Or I think they actually made a Knights game for like PlayStation or something like that, or like PlayStation 2.
Yeah, Knights was just a beautiful game, sweet, awesome sound.
I remember watching that shit and being like, I am enamored with whatever that is. Like, right. And I just couldn't stop thinking about it. It was really dope.
Yeah, man. I think I know, like I told you, it could be a little glitchy at times. Mm-hmm. I think it's I don't know.
Can't go any lower than B tier in my opinion.
I'd put it in B tier, man. Slept on. Then we got the first PlayStation.
Facts.
I mean, this system came out and changed everything.
It did, man. I think this is an A-tier system at minimum.
I believe so as well.
I was late getting a PlayStation.
I was too. I was super late to the PlayStation game.
But I played it all the time because obviously everybody had one.
Yeah.
So this is A-tier. I don't know what this is. It looks familiar, but I don't know what it is. This also looks really familiar. What's this? I think this is 3DO. You know what I'm saying? But obviously I didn't play it, so it doesn't really matter. But okay, man. So we're gonna. Okay, bro. Ooh, we got an interesting run coming up here. We got it. At least 2 surefire S tiers.
Yes.
And 2 more that deserve S tier consideration.
S tier consideration.
So we got 64.
Nintendo 64, in my opinion, is S tier, bro.
No doubt.
It's our generation's like first system that we were old enough to anticipate the release of and also just want really, really, really bad for Christmas. So many good games on there that ended up becoming like big time like staples in
franchises,
gaming. Like,
all time
greats. Know what I'm saying? Mario 64,
GoldenEye, Perfect Dark,
Super Smash, Perfect Dark, Star Fox 64.
Hell yeah, bro, Star Fox.
Obviously, Ocarina of Time.
Majora's Mask. I mean, there's so many like 10 out of 10 games on
Nintendo
64.
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, man. Easy work.
Man, easy S tier, man. Best fighting game system to this day. Best fighting game system ever. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter Third Strike, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Soul Calibur, King of Fighters Dream Match, Garo Mark of the Wolves, Capcom vs. SNK,
Power
Stone 1 and 2. Like,
Soul Calibur 1 and 2.
Ridiculous, man. So many.
Plasma
Sword, bro.
Yep.
Underrated. Rival Schools.
Yep.
Project Justice. Dude, so many good fighting games on Dreamcast. It's crazy. So good.
Okay, man. So look, we have to protect S tier.
We do.
But we got 2 more here that we need to think about.
Yeah, facts. What is that? PS2?
PS2 is the first one. I think here's what I'm thinking, because I think there's another PlayStation unit that we're gonna talk about soon that deserves S tier ahead of PS2.
I personally think PlayStation has 2 S tier systems.
You think so?
I think it's got 2 S tier.
Oh shit! Okay.
I think PlayStation has 2 S tier systems, but I think it's harder to pick which 2, in my opinion. I think one is surefire, no doubt. One of the great systems of all time, one of the best controllers of all time, some of the best games ever. I think one is a shoe-in.
Why don't we stop fucking around? Why don't we just go to so PS4? We both agree is S tier. I agree. Okay, we agreed on that.
It's S tier, one of the best systems ever made.
So what are we gonna do about? Because there's also another Nintendo system that I think deserves S tier as well.
Too. Okay.
There's 2 more that might consider. All right, let's take one at a time. Hold on, bro. I need to do some rearranging here. All right. What are we gonna do about PS2, bro?
Bro, it's the highest selling game system ever.
That's facts. That's kind of all right, bro. Nigga, we was just talking about Ben Wallace. Is he Hall of Famer, bro? That nigga best player for a while.
Right.
So okay, the facts is facts.
It's the highest selling game system ever.
You're right. I can't argue with that. Okay, hey man, look, bro.
When you think of PS2, what's like the first game that you think of? Just
what? It's so stupid, and this is a bad answer, but the first game that comes to mind for me is Bouncer. You remember that shit? You remember that game, bro? And because I remember reading a magazine about PS2 when it first came out, and for some reason I always think about that. But in terms of like franchise, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, for sure. The terrifying loading screen on PS2.
Mm-hmm. There was a long period of silence.
Like, know if it was gonna turn on or not.
Okay. Okay, man. I got some bad news for Xbox folks. I think Xbox, the original Xbox, is a C tier system,
bro.
I wasn't a big fan of the original.
It was like kind of a nightmare too. Like it was so many things wrong with it, bro. I remember mine. The power cord in the back would like spark.
Oh, fuck that.
And like it was pretty crazy.
Are we agreed with C tier or lower?
Yes.
Too late, bro. It's in there. No, you won't put it in C tier?
But the first Halo was on there.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
I'll put it in C tier.
All right, my bad.
Then we got Xbox 360, bro. I think this is an A tier system.
No doubt. I think it flirts with S tier, but it doesn't pull
Red
it
Ring
off.
of Death. It gives gives it some.
Yeah, you can't be in S tier.
You can't be in S tier with technical difficulties.
With a virus of that, with the fucking coronavirus, bro. Like, no, you can't do that.
On like on a worldwide scale.
It's a pandemic,
right?
Legit, bro. The first pandemic was not COVID. It was the Red Ring of Death. It was
the Red Ring on Xbox 360 for sure.
Okay, bro. Another one that I didn't love was PS3. I think
PS3 just got. This was Xbox 360's time frame.
Yeah, for sure. I have a hard time putting it higher than B or C tier.
I would put it in C just because it played such a second role.
It got smacked by 360. It wasn't even close.
It got smacked by 360.
Nintendo Wii. Now, I think that you can make a weak case for S tier, but in terms of like overall contribution to gaming on a like global scale, I can't put it lower than A tier for the Wii. What do you think?
I think it's A tier, man. I didn't play Wii until I was like late to it.
Yeah.
But I still think that it brought a lot of things. It brought a lot of cool things to gaming, and also the Smash on there was sweet too.
Really good. And it just was like it brought casual gamers, and it made them feel safe. Like, oh, I can just fuck around and play beer bowling or whatever. You know?
And also, like, I mean, this was kind of the first time Nintendo was like doing some discs.
They were doing this.
So I think it's cool.
Speaking of Nintendo, we have arguably their first stumble here with the Wii U. I had a Wii U. I think I was the only person that I knew that had a Wii U. It was an okay system, but they took a swing and a miss on their controller, I think, with that expensive ass controller. It didn't really it didn't offer a whole lot.
Right.
I'd have to put it in C tier. What do you think?
Yeah, I never had one. So
word.
Yeah.
Okay, then we got it. This is a new Jaguar. This is a new Atari. I think this has come out in like the past couple of years. But it's so weird, man. Atari, like, they know that their lane is retro gaming. So even the new Ataris that come out like only play retro games, which is kind of weird.
That's weird.
But they know what they do. They have their lane of like old ass retro games.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it in the not familiar.
Not familiar.
Let's get these out of the way right now. This one.
Yeah, just find ones that we have no idea what the heck they are.
What the fuck that looks like a phone.
Looks like a house phone.
Yeah. Nokia. I remember this. The Nokia, and this one also Nokia. Don't know what that is.
What is that?
Mr. Game & Watch. I think so. Mr. Game & Watch. I'm not familiar with.
Flicking hot sausages at you.
You be flipping bacon, nigga. Salmon. Goddamn it. Skillet. Goddamn.
And the food be knocking you
right, bro.
Oh my god!
Hit with a flaming sausage,
bro. His speed makes his like frame rate is so off that you just can't defend it.
He's literally got 0 frame punches, bro.
So crazy, man.
So I recognize Virtual Boy, and I know enough.
Had a Virtual Boy.
Word,
yeah.
I think I know enough about it to judge it, and I
actually played my first Wario game on there.
I played that shit too, bro.
And okay, funny story. The way that you delete the files on the Wario game is that you get he has this bomb and you walk up to the door of the save file and it blows it up.
Oh, I remember that
because you can only have 4 save files on there. And I would never forget my brother had played that game so much, and like one of our cousins or something came over and used his Virtual Boy and was like, "Oh, he's got bombs," and he like just deleted his save file. My brother was
no, that sucks.
Hilarious. Also, Virtual Boy caused some sickness to some people,
bro. I think this is our first D tier system, bro.
With like the infrared stuff.
It made you feel like your brain was getting attacked.
Yeah, poor design. Yeah,
interesting idea. Did not
definitely pave the way for a Switch though.
It did. Okay, so we went out of order here a little bit. Let's go back to the top of the queue. We got top of the queue. We got Xbox Series or Xbox One.
Okay. Xbox One.
I never played it. I know y'all got one at the crib.
Yeah, my son's an Xbox guy. So I think it's a good system, man. I think I don't think it's as good as the 360. But I do think I would put it in B tier, I guess. I can't put it in the same place as the 360 is, but I would put it in B tier.
All right, man. Game Boy original. I guess since I don't see Game Boy Color or Game Boy Pocket, let's put them all together.
Put them all together. If we're putting them all together, I think this has got to be like a. But let's be careful. Let's also recognize that Game Boy Advance came through and really made it like so much better.
True.
A lot of people don't realize, like, yes, Game Boy Color and Game Boy was sweet, but y'all weren't playing them growing up. Like, the lighting was so bad, you could not see on there.
Say less, bro. Yeah. I think this is a B tier system.
I'd put it in B. Like, remember we had to buy those weird lights?
Yep. And they barely worked. Because of the reflection.
Yeah. Game Gear? Is that Game Gear?
Yeah, man.
Fire.
Game Gear was a brick, bro. That mug was huge.
Yeah, you had to have like a backpack to put it in.
And you had to have like 6 batteries to run that mother.
I think Game Gear was super cool. I don't remember it having very many games.
I remember the only 2 games that I've ever seen on Game Gear were Mortal Kombat and Sega or Sonic.
Sonic, yeah.
Whatever. Sonic Game Gear.
I think Game Gear was a cool concept, but I think it was Sega trying to get into something that Nintendo was like dominating and they just made a gigantic handheld system that was like the same size of a regular Sega, pretty much.
Oh, one of these down here was probably Neo Geo. It might have been this one, but I don't know. I don't know enough. Neo Geo was very popular in Japan. It was not popular in America. Could have been this one too, or that one. I don't know.
A lot of fighting games were on Neo Geo too.
Some good ones too.
Yeah, King of Fighters, Fatal Fury.
What are we gonna do about B, C,
I put
A?
Game Gear in C tier. I mean, just because of they didn't have that many games, man. Yeah.
I think this could be Neo Geo Pocket right here.
Not familiar.
Let me actually look this up. Neo Geo Pocket. Yes, that's Neo Geo Pocket.
Hey, nice.
First shit costs $854.
Oh, you gonna get one?
Nope.
That's crazy, bro. Like, just retro stuff in general is just nuts right now, especially Pokemon stuff, man.
Yep.
Crazy.
I never played it, not familiar, but it's cool that we identified it. I don't know what the fuck this is either.
Boom. Then we got Game Boy Advance, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is flirting with S tier. It's got to be A, or it can't be any lower than A in my opinion. I mean, I think Game Boy Advance perfected the backlighting of like a handheld system. The sound was good, especially the SP, the flip Game Boy Advance.
Oh, here, I already gave this away, but I'm gonna do something here. We put that, but we're about to have a run on Nintendo at the end.
Okay.
So the next one here is Google Stadia. Automatic C tier. Automatic D tier, actually. I got my money back for that shit.
Oh, wow.
That's the first time I ever paid for something and actually, you know what? I'd actually like my money back, please. Thank you.
Wow.
Trash. Then we've got the PSP. PSP
PSP was fire.
It was really dope. Had a long life too.
I think that's slept on, man. I think that's a
I never had one, but I remember people really liking it a lot.
I think it's PSP was dope, man. It was really good.
Had a dope Tekken game on there that I remember.
I'll put B tier.
All right, man. We got a run on Nintendo. Game and Nintendo's. A couple of handhelds, couple of systems.
Oh man.
Right.
Oh, they're all good.
Yep. So this is why I saved them for the end.
Oh, no.
So we got Game Boy or Game Boy Advance in A tier.
A tier.
So then we got DS and 3DS. What are we gonna do about these two?
I think that I don't think the 3D matters. Does that make sense?
Yes,
I don't think
I know what you mean.
the 3D really matters. I think 3DS is better just because of the games that it has on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that the 3D is what makes it better. I think the thing that makes it better is that it flips. And the 2DS, I don't think you could flip it. It was just like kind of stuck like that, wasn't it?
No, this right here is the DS, the blue one.
Yeah, you can flip it. I think
you could flip it.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because I had one that didn't flip.
I mean, let's look it up. Nintendo DS.
Because I definitely had one that didn't flip.
It looks like it's supposed to flip. It looks like there's a gear here that it flips.
Oh, it does? Okay.
So yours might have been broken.
Maybe mine was broke.
They do make a 2DS that doesn't flip.
No, that's what I'm talking about. The 2DS is the one that didn't flip.
So the 2DS is actually the same system as the 3DS.
It just doesn't have
the 3D function.
Okay.
The DS is the one that came. It's like the generation before the 3DS.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a straight up Nintendo DS. That's the one that. So DS was the one that Diamond and Pearl was on.
Yeah.
3DS was the one with like
Silver and
Alpha Sapphire and all of them. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, I think these are both gotta be dang it. See, I think one's gotta be S tier, bro. They're both, but I don't know which one because
I don't know, bro, because I think we got
you're right, because we got
two more.
We got a guaranteed S tier coming up.
We might have two guaranteed S tiers, bro.
So,
I think I would
like, dog. Okay, man. The greatest, all the brass of the Pokemon games is on these systems. You know what I'm saying? Original Game Boy Color, you had red and blue and gold and silver and crystal.
Right.
But then you start getting the Game Boy Advance. That's when you had Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, Heart, or Leaf Green, and Fire Red.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to the DS, that's when you start getting Diamond and Pearl, Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, Black and White 2,
then
Crystal.
For 3DS, you had Sun and Moon, and
which is
it poop? I don't know if it's poop,
bro. I don't like the I don't like Ultra Beasts, and I don't like the Trials instead of the Gym Leaders.
Oh yeah,
and the Elite Four.
That is a needless change.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we gonna do, bro? All right, let's talk about them all together then. So the next thing we have is Switch and GameCube.
Nintendo Switch is perfection. I think Nintendo Switch is
it's already one of the greatest consoles of all time,
bro. It's S tier.
I agree.
Switch is S tier.
I agree. It's like in function probably the best Nintendo system ever. Is it my favorite? Probably not. It's not yet my favorite other than 64, just because I had so much time with 64. But I could see it being overtaken by the end of the Switch's lifespan.
The Switch is it's perfect. We got the Cube.
We got the Cube, and we got 3DS, and
we got the Tesseract.
DS, 3DS, GameCube.
I'm just having trouble separating the DS and the 3DS. The 3D doesn't matter to me.
But it's not.
It's the games.
It's also a whole different system. Like it's like PlayStation 3 versus PlayStation 4.
Right. No, you're right. And I mean I played 3DS like all the time. So
yeah.
Bro,
only if do we have?
It's got to be 3DS. That's the better one.
Okay, that's fine. But where do we put it is the question.
All right, man. I'm saying 3DS is S tier.
Are you willing to do that and banish these next two to the A tier?
Why you say banish, bro? It sounds horrible. Oh man,
because they can't. Because it can only be one more S tier, bro.
There can only be one.
And personally, if I was having to pick one, I would probably put GameCube over both of them.
The Cube. All right, let's go, man. Put the Cube. GameCube's got the discography is crazy,
bro. It has such a long life. It has so many good games.
And I don't think I've had the same GameCube forever, and I've never had any trouble with it.
Very, very well made. Now, the next question is, if you got 3D and A tier, are we gonna? I think
2D should still be.
They both in A tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top tier system. I think that's good, man. We protected S tier. Look at those S tier systems, man.
Dreamcast, 64,
PS4,
and
PS2. That's a good.
Yeah, balance. Got
very,
Sega.
Very balanced.
Got two Nintendo or 2 Sonys and 3 Nintendos. And nobody going. I mean, I think the most controversial one is Switch and S tier, but those of us who have Switches understand.
We know, yeah.
It's a fight,
what's up,
bro. What the Switch is the culmination and the slam dunk of what they started with Wii and what they fumbled with the Wii U. Sure, I mean, I guess Virtual Boy was at the beginning, but they tried to do something like that with the Wii U. Wasn't quite it, but they nailed it.
Something crazy about not only holding that high quality of like graphics in your hands, but then like just and then you can just put it on the TV.
Yeah, it's really dope.
Really sweet. I love it. It's really dope.
It's a good tier list, man.
It is. I think we did a good job. Boom. Game Systems tier list, man. Episode 82 in the books. Thank y'all for listening. Hey, man, make sure y'all go listen to that new project, man.
Hey, man. Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah.
Make sure you guys go check out my new project I got with Mega Ran. Maverick Hunters has been out for a couple weeks, man. I got an email from Spotify saying your streams have gone up 18,000. That's pretty. Hey, man, I'm not a big like streaming number guy. I care more about people buying the merch and the vinyl selling out. I care more about that kind of stuff. But
it's impressive.
It's very cool to get some streaming numbers. So I love you guys. Thank you. Make sure you guys check out that project if you haven't already. Maverick Hunters. Hir-O's got 2 joints on there. They're crazy. He produced Clash of the Titans. He produced Memory Card. There's a video for Memory Card out right now. Me and Mega Ran got another video probably going to come out in the next couple weeks called Dear Summer. And just be on the lookout, man. New stuff still on the way. Make sure you guys play the crap out of Maverick Hunters. And that's it, man. Thank y'all for listening. Catch y'all next week. Boom.
My word is my sword, Hokage Tosai, pulling the blades out of the forge up. Prior to my knowledge of the force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under great skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind will lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my sword play when blades clash.